Moving in and exploring a new house is always a great feeling, full of fun and adventures. But what if I told you not every house was built equally? What if I told you some had absolutely heinous backstories? Today we're going to be diving into haunted houses that people didn't know were haunted until they moved in. Today we're going to be checking out paranormal experiences from people who literally just moved into their brand new house and are already experiencing some insane things having to do with paranormal and just things that you can't see. Really quickly, what's going on, everybody? My name is Chris. Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Today, as you guys see, we have the trusty iPhone in hand, and we are going to be checking out some, as I said, of the scariest, creepiest paranormal encounters that happen to people who just moved in to their brand new house. Could be their dream home, and they got this BS going on. So let's see what we have cooking today. I have a basic LA condo built in the 80s. One morning while getting ready for work at my bathroom sink, I heard this odd scratching noise. I looked around assuming it was my cat, and then I happened to look at a cheap painting I hung on the wall. It slowly started rotating left and then slowly moved back, causing an odd scratching noise. This was in a windowless bathroom. No earthquake or any kind of vibration or wind. It freaked me out and I took it off the wall. Listen, I would have done more than that. Fun fact, I don't currently live in California, but I did for a little while, and I actually experienced my first earthquake. It was pretty scary, dude. Between that, the wildfires, and now this whole flooding thing, y'all can keep LA. I'm good on that. But dude, imagine I have a whiteboard right over here. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. That's pretty crazy. You know, built in the 80s, kind of makes sense. It's a bit older. There's been a lot of people probably living in and out of there, but dude, you know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine just moving into a brand new place and then having it just, not having it, but having something, you know, like that happen. It just sits bad with me. I don't know. It just sits really bad with me. I lived in a house when I was 19 or 20 with my roommates. All of us worked as bartenders or waitresses at a local bar and lived just right up the street. It was a slow night, so one of my roommates ended up going home early. She called us a few hours later to tell us that she heard babies crying. She went room to room trying to figure out where the noise was coming from, but she got extremely scared and called us. We ran and found her white as a sheet, clutching her phone and crying. We all slept in her bed together that night. Then a few nights later, the fire department showed up, saying the neighbor called and reported that our house was on fire. Turned out the whole neighborhood had burned down in the 1900s, and a baby died in our house. You know, that's kind of something that's important. I understand being young, but that's something that's important when you're, gonna buy something. You should probably make sure there wasn't like a massive fire where an infant died, and now you're hearing dude, I saw an orb in my bedroom doorway while I was going to sleep. The next day, things hanging from my ceiling started moving without a breeze, so I went to leave my room. I walked through the doorway, and there was the orb I saw in the previous night, and it was a cold spot. My entire leg felt cold. I left and went to work, and when I came back, I said out loud, "I can't help you. I need you to leave." My bedroom door closed on its own, and nothing happened after that. The house I grew up in was pretty active. I was at my bedroom in one end of the house. The rest of my family was in the living room on the other side of the house. I absentmindedly did the shave and haircut knock on the wall. Something immediately knocked back 2 bits apart. I ran down the hallway into the living room and verified no one else had been in that part of the house. Nope. So you're telling me you made a little bit of noise, and what you heard back was close to the same thing you did and nobody was around. Listen, I don't know. I feel like I don't know what you do in that situation. Like, listen, I'm just sitting here reading these, but dude, like, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. I'd be very scared. Probably. I would be very unnerved, if you will. I think unnerved is a really, really good word. One night, I was sleeping and woke up to a noise coming from my desk. It sounded like somebody was shuffling papers, but it was so loud that I remember waking up in a panic. There was no one else in my room but me. I yelled for my mom, and as soon as she opened the door and turned the lights on, the noise stopped. I told my mom what happened, and she said it was probably a dream and to go back to sleep. Years later, she told me she had found papers scattered all over the floor, but picked them up before I could see. Mom don't see won't hurt her. I guess. I mean, she lied to you. She just, she wanted to make sure you were all right. She wanted to make sure that you weren't extremely terrified sleeping in your bed. Good for her. Good for her. Because reading these stories, I'm kind of freaking out right now. The most terrifying experience I've ever had was when I was home alone for the day watching TV in my parents' bedroom. All of a sudden, I heard a woman's voice calling my name sweetly from the hallway outside. I went and checked, and there was nobody there. I closed the door and the voice called me again. I checked the whole house to see if there was anyone in my house, but again, no one was. When I got back to my room, the woman started calling my name again, now angrily. I was so freaking scared. My parents and I joked that the first place we moved into was haunted by a fruit-loving ghost. On one of the first first nights there, our bedroom smelled distinctly of banana. A short time later, we found a tangerine peel under the sofa, when neither of us remember eating tangerines. It's a little bit more lighthearted. That's a little bit, I guess, slightly bit lighthearted. Not the most lighthearted, but lighthearted enough. When I was around 5, I lived in a 2-story apartment. So basically, the second floor was the 4th story. One night, I knocked on my wall and someone knocked back. I thought it was cool and I did it over again and over again until we moved. A few years later, I asked my parents if they were the ones knocking on my wall when I was younger. That's when they told me that my bed was up against a wall connected to outside. So the only way someone would be able to knock on my wall was if they were on a 4-story ladder. I've always felt a presence around me since then. That's probably something you should talk to somebody about, because that's kind of terrifying. That's kind of terrifying. I once played Bloody Mary by myself. Bad move. Bad move. Don't care what you think. Don't care what you're going to comment. Don't do it. Not a good idea. Not a joke. Not fun. Not cool. Nothing. Don't recommend it. Not saying anything's going to happen. Not saying not anything's going to happen. But Chris is not playing it. Not playing it. Could say anything. You could give me anything and tell me nothing's gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. I immediately felt coldness and overwhelming sense of dread fill the room. I closed my eyes and turned around, and as fast as I could, I turned the lights on. It wasn't until a couple weeks later that truly creeped me out. I was alone reading a book and a dizziness hit me. I heard children's laughter, and then I heard my name being called by a woman from the same room where I had done the ritual in. And that is exactly why you don't play that stuff. Listen, I talk about a lot of morbid, crazy, scary experiences. There's not an amount of money or anything that you could give me to play any of these scary games. I'll go places, but I'm not playing any games. Ouija boards, Chris ain't playing with. Never have, never will. Those kind of games, not playing it. Yeah, there's a certain level of willingness that I don't have, and that's what I don't have. Chris is not playing. I'm talking about myself in the third person. I'm not playing any of that. But hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video, and if you did, don't forget to smack a like on it. That'd be greatly appreciated. You guys have been killing the support on these videos. As I said, man, today we checked out some absolutely terrifying stories of people who just moved into a brand new house, and they're already dealing with some crazy things. Crazy things, of course, being paranormal and things of out of this world, if you will. But as I said, if you enjoyed, smack a like on it. Follow me on all my socials. Check out the playlist below. With all that being said, my name is Chris, and of course, I will catch you guys in the next one.